guys, I'm Atulya Bhakti. Welcome to Cooking with Atulya. Today, I'm going to show you how to make the best gluten-free and grain-free vegan brownies ever. These brownies are so delicious. They're nice and crisp and slightly cakey around the edges and super fudgy and chocolatey in the middle. And they're also really easy to make. So let's get started. First, we're going to sift and mix our dry ingredients. In a large bowl, sift in 3/4 cups of buckwheat flour, 3/4 cups of potato starch. Buckwheat flour has a really strong, distinctive taste, but it has a really great binding power. So we're going to lighten up the flavor and lighten up the texture by adding in some of this potato starch. Next, you're gonna add in 1.5 cup of organic cane sugar and add 3/4 cups of cacao powder. I personally love using cacao powder versus cocoa powder because it has a much better flavor, and usually cacao powders tend to be of higher quality cacao than the cocoa powder. Then add 1 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum for a little extra binding power. And go ahead and mix all your dry ingredients until thoroughly combined. Go ahead and make yourself a nice little well in the middle for your wet ingredients. For the wet ingredients, I've got 3/4 cups of water. To that, I'm adding 3/4 cups of oil and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And go ahead and take your whisk and mix that up. And we're going to pour our wet ingredients into our well. You want to stir this until everything is well incorporated. This would have been a lot easier if Atulya had picked a bigger bowl. Now I'm gonna switch over to a spatula to make sure to scrape all the sides and the bottom of the bowl, making sure that there's no dry ingredients left behind. And your batter should look quite thick like this. And lastly, fold in some bittersweet chocolate chips. Today I'm using a 70% cacao content chocolate chips. And I really love using a bittersweet chocolate for this brownie recipe because brownies are kind of sweet, so the bitterness of the chocolate really helps to balance out all the flavors. All right, once you've folded in your chocolate chips, let's go ahead and transfer this over to our pan. Today I'm using a 9x13 quarter sheet pan with a cake extender lined with parchment paper. And once you've got a nice even layer of batter, let's take this over to our oven preheated at 350 degrees. My brownies now baked in the oven for 30 minutes, then I rotated it and baked it for another 5 minutes, and they've cooled for about 15, so they're ready to be cut into. And this is how easy it is when you have one of these cake extenders. You just pop it right out. And then let's move this onto our cutting board. Ta-da! Looks so beautiful. All right, it's nice and crackly on the top. I'm gonna cut into it. Cut myself a nice little square of this brownie. All right. Nice big scoop of vanilla ice cream. So good. No one's gonna believe that these are gluten-free. And when brownies are this good, I kind of prefer this gluten-free version than the gluten version of it. It's brownie is really good.